friends, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Debbie. I am a lifestyle, nursing and travel blogger, and I am so glad to have you here with me today. If this is your first time stumbling across this channel, welcome very much. I am so glad to have you here, and if you like this video, honestly, do not forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified of all the videos that I post. And also let's connect on the socials. You know, you can follow me on Instagram. My handle is @DebbieMaluka, and let's keep this going. For today's video, as you have seen from the title, we're talking about the highs and lows of nursing school during a pandemic. Backtrack actually to about 4 or 5 months ago when we were in lockdown and everything was shut. There were a lot of uncertainties about where, mostly in terms of school, nursing school, where how the next semester was gonna go. And I think I did a video in the beginning, right before we started, kind of like talking. I mentioned a few about the uncertainties that I have regarding doing going classes during the pandemic. We are I did a whole semester and it's over right now. I'm currently on break, but by the time you watch this video, I'll definitely be back to school. So to share how the experience was, the highs and the lows. I'll start off with the lows and then we'll end with the highs. There's no particular order to this, it's just random. So the first thing is virtual clinicals is a big low for me. I think I'd addressed this in an earlier video, how I wasn't sure how clinicals were gonna go, especially during the semester that I was going into a critical care semester. And this is, you know, we're supposed to practice like critical care skills, you know, IV insertion, learning about chest tubes, learning about all this like critical care events and all that. And so at the beginning, we weren't sure whether we'll get the opportunity to actually go into in-person clinicals. So it was kind of like in the gray area. It was like, okay, it's great that we'll have virtual clinicals, but I'm not sure how it was gonna go. In hindsight, it was great in some ways. I think it helped us develop, I personally speak for myself, helped me develop like critical thinking skills that are very, very necessary as a nurse. The next point was Zoom fatigue. Let me tell you, I have come to dislike Zoom so much. Zoom for lectures, Zoom for clinicals, Zoom for everything. Zoom fatigue is real, and I'm sure you know, in whatever field of work or school you are in, you did spend several hours a day on Zoom, and you can imagine how exhausting that can be. At the end of the day, looking at the screen for like hours. So for our lectures, we would have Zoom sessions for 3 hours, and those ones were a little bit more lenient because you know, it was not mandatory to have your video on and, you know, your audio on. You could have them mute, and to tell you the truth, you could do other things behind the scenes. But anyway, so it was a little bit more flexible with that. But when it came to clinicals, in which I had them Thursday and Friday, you had to have your video on and you had to have your audio on, because you had to actually talk and be seen for participation, for that to count as participation for the clinical day. After doing that for 9 weeks, I was like, I am done. Like, I cannot do any more of this. But the good thing is, at some point, like halfway through the semester, we got an email saying that they're starting to like transition us to in-person clinicals. What was unfortunate for myself and my group is our in-person clinicals were towards the end of the semester. They were the last 3 weeks of the semester, so we had like the whole we had 15 weeks in total, so that for the whole 10-11 weeks prior of virtual clinical. The other low point of the semester was being stuck indoors, you know, having to, with everything online and virtual, like we could not go to campus even to study. Like they had closed down the campus where they were not allowing us to go. It's not until like towards the end where they're kind of opening some restrictions, but at that point, you know, just kind of like, it's like, what's the point? You know, I've gotten used to studying at home, you know, have like a whole routine, so what's the point? So that kind of that became old, and the only times I kind of probably step out of the house is if I'm going to the store, and that was for like maybe 30 minutes tops, and I'm back. So it kind of got really old being in the house. Another low point for me, which actually had not written, but I just thought of it right now, was having to do exams at home. I personally kind of the person who concentrates really good in a very quiet setting with no any type of distractions. And so having to do exams at home was really difficult when you have 2 roommates and the building next door is under construction. That was pure death for me. My roommates were very understanding, and, you know, tell them like ahead of time, like, yo, I'm having an exam at this day, this particular time, you know, would you mind like just, you know, and they were really good in providing that quiet space for them, because again, they're also students, so they understood. But the construction, my goodness, oh my god, it was so bad. And especially like the days that I had exams, that's when they were the most loudest, and there was no way I was gonna go like next door, hey y'all, excuse me, I have an exam in like an hour, so do you mind like keeping it down? No, there's no I was gonna do that. So I had to like you know, suffer through and conquer. But the great thing was for our final exam, they gave us a chance of having a different like having in-person testing. Because of how things were for me at home, I decided to take that chance, that opportunity, and trust me, I did so good in that exam. I think that was like my best exam the whole semester. The next point was lack of motivation and senioritis. For some reason, it was really hard to get motivated to do stuff. I would say the whole of the semester, and I think a big part of it had to do with the fact that you know, I was just in one environment. My environment was not changing, and so for me, like kind of getting used to that environment in a way just did not provide me with like good vibes, or like, you know, vibes to just like really energize me and motivate me. And so I would have to do different things to like re-energize and re-motivate myself. At some point, by the time we were you know, almost coming to the end of the semester, still, that's when it was just like at the worst. And that's when we had so much work to do, and I just had to like really push myself to like motivate myself. Times like those are times when you should tap into your support system. And I'll have to say, my friends and my family and my partner were really great at motivating me and kind of re-energizing me, and, you know, just, you know, cheering me on to be able to finish strongly. And we thank God we finished strongly. The other and final low point was it got lonely real quick. And I say this, and I say this to mean that it's different when you're in school, you know, like you're around your classmates, and so after maybe lecture you probably go have lunch with them, talk, and maybe go study with them. And so at home there wasn't that, and I feel like also maybe that kind of maybe tied into like the whole lack of motivation, because I didn't have my peers there around to like motivate me. And that's what I meant, like that's what I mean when saying it got lonely pretty quick. So now we're gonna shift gears and go and talk about the highs. The biggest one for me was because of having to do everything virtually, all my sessions, so lectures and clinical sessions, they all started at 9 a.m. which was great, and you don't have to travel anywhere. The only place you have to travel to is to your desk. So I would roll out of bed like what, 8, take a quick shower, breakfast, and I'm seated on my desk ready to start class or clinical at 9 a.m. so that was great. The next point, which was we finally got the opportunity to have in-person clinical, and I'll tell you that for me, I think that was like my best time overall in terms of clinical rotation, because I got to be in the hospital. I got to actually work with real patients, not imaginary patients. I think I learned best through hands-on, and so I quickly immersed myself into that opportunity. And so for me, that was absolute pure greatness for me. Like, I loved it. That was essentially how it was for me, you know, to go through like a whole semester during a pandemic. If you're a nursing student, please leave a comment down below. Tell me how your semester went, or how things are if you're starting a new semester right now. You know, are you in person, are you virtual, how your clinicals, are they in person, are they still virtual? Like, let me know. I'd love to know. And if you have any other questions for me, please do not forget to leave them down on the comment section below. Again, if you love this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, my friend, what are you doing? Please hit that red button right there, and do not forget to click on the little bell to be notified of any videos that I post. It was great having you guys here, and I will see you in the next video. Toodles.